So we're going to widen the driveway here about 2 feet in most of this area. And then this bush we're going to have to dig out and replace it with a tiny little baby bush. And then here we're probably going to have to widen the driveway about 1 to 2 feet, somewhere in that range, leaving maybe a tiny microscopic sliver. And then over here we've already started, and so I've dug it out. There's the stones, and there's an upright stone that's thin for some areas. In some areas I've got a pipe I got to watch out for that goes to the water sprinkler, and I've put these bricks here to protect the water sprinkler system. And there's a pipe back there, and now I've started taking out the existing retaining wall here and digging it out. Over here you can see we've been working on this side, and so you can see sort of a new area for the retaining wall and the old area for the retaining wall. Okay, so back to the right side. Now I'll do a slow spin so you can see. Here's the other side. You can't go too far here because we got the heat pump on this side. I'm going to try and probably go 6 inches to 8 inches back here. And then on this side we'll probably go about 12 to 20 inches back, to almost 2 feet back in some spots if the pipe will allow for it, or basically right back to the pipe. In some cases you might just have to dig to the pipe and then move the pipe at some point if it's too problematic. Now then, in this area here, I'm going to dig this down, and I'm going to make a concrete pad for garbage cans in this area. Then I'm going to leave this tree here, still take widen the driveway maybe 12 inches, and then maybe going back here 16 to 20 inches. And then you can see here we've got this walkway here. We'll have to weed this area and just widen it a little bit right here. Behind the shed here we've got a giant bush here. So one of the jobs we got to do is remove this giant bush, and then I want to try to use this for storage of things like wheelbarrows and garbage cans that are out of sight. And so this will be a little bit of a behind the shed storage area once we remove this bush. And then there's all, of course, the blackberries here as well. There's some weeding there. We need to remove some of that ivy everywhere there's ivy. All this ivy needs to come off the fence. I'm going to cut that off and use maybe like a wrecking bar or something to pry it off, or a screwdriver. Here on this sidewalk it was flooding, and so I started digging it back so it wouldn't flood. And then over here we've got ivy to get off the house. So you can see I've started hacking at the ivy there, but it's a slow, painful job hacking at the ivy. And the ivy's grown under the patio, and so we've got some work to get all the ivy out from underneath the patio there. Over by this swing, we're going to try and put a little walkway right through here. So we're going to have to move the bird bath, the frog, and probably 2 boulders there. The 2 boulders is going to be a big job to move. So the path will come through here, right through here, and out over to this side. Once we get to this side, then we're going to have to dig out a bunch of dirt to create a level area for a walkway near the top of this ridge. It's going to go to this gate, and once we get to this gate, you can see we've got a few pavers there, and then we're going to carry the pavers on in that direction. And of course this whole area needs to be weeded in here as well, and so it's crazy. Lots of weeds, all kinds of things to deal with in here. And right here's an example. There's a blackberry getting into the garden here.